No, son, you have been misled. Unity is the path to destruction. It will tear our civilization asunder and shatter the sacred ring until nothing remains. Unity is our very end. Quote, Dulin reminds us there's something more at play here. As Darak and Solia go their separate ways, they learn that unity may not necessarily be a good thing. Presented by Skybound Entertainment, distributed by Image Comic, Void Rivals, Volume 1, Issue 13, The Energon Universe. In Cobra Commander, Volume 1, Issue 5, in Cobra-La, Golabialis and Pythona are still reeling from the escape of the mechanical monster Megatron. Entering the commander's secret lab, they discover the creature's extraterrestrial origin. Fearing the idea that beings from an entirely mechanical world, the antithesis of Cobra-La, are already on Earth, Golabius decides they must take their war to the stars and launch an organic probe to find their homeland. Golabius angrily chastises Pythona, admonishing her for her failure to locate the mechanical world that stands as the antithesis to Cobra-La. You have failed me. You have failed Cobra-La. Golabius sees Cybertronians, these mechanical monsters, are affront to all we hold dear. You were sent to find their homeland, learn their weaknesses, bend their abhorrent artificial bodies until they break. Instead, you've done nothing. You are weak, pathetic child, unworthy of the name. Aboard the Cobra-La organic probe, Pythona awakens from her nightmare as Viperia alerts her that the Energon signature they were tracking has led them to a small planetoid. On the surface, Cobra-La troops investigate and locate the precise origin point of the signal. They find tracks of the two bipedal creatures leading to the launch site of the small non-Energon craft. Acronos confirms that they can still track it. Their pursuit appears to lead them toward Jetfire as they find themselves on the same planetoid, same location, same spot from Void Rivals Issue 1. Additionally, they detect a signature from Darak and Solia's makeshift spaceship, a discovery that likely spells trouble. Meanwhile, Solia and the Handroid make their way through a cramped interior of the sacred ring. Handroid raises concerns about whether Zerta or Zerta, as Solia corrects him, would have even fit through the passage, but Solia tells it to just have faith. Android replies, "This is not in my programming. Sorry." Out in space, Skutzoid concludes his business with Bosch, surprising him with his indifference to being paid. The Skutzoid has been feeling down ever since remembering his family isn't around anymore back in Void Rivals Issue 9. Skutzoid says, "Pay me, don't pay me. Honestly, Bosch, I don't even care anymore." Out in space, the Skutzoid concludes his business with Bosch, surprising him with his apathy towards being paid. In the wasteland of the Sacred Ring, Springer and Darak continue their journey to Agoria, but the rugged terrain forces Springer to convert to his helicopter mode. Springer presses Darak for details about his encounter with Jetfire, but Darak explains that while he could direct Springer to the planetoid, he didn't catch Jetfire's trajectory. As they finish their conversation and reach the outskirts of Agoria, Darak disembarks into the city. Springer says, "Can't go much farther without being detected." Darak replies, "Wait here, I'll signal you when I'm ready." Springer responds, "Standing by, good luck." On the other side of the Sacred Ring, Zalilak visits the Temple of Zerta's Light for a meeting with Mistress Vill. Mistress Vill says, "Premier Zalilak, I must admit I'm surprised to see you grace our sacred hall with your presence. A rare occurrence, to be sure." Premier Zalilak responds, "Please, Mistress Vill." Mistress Vill replies, "You must be desperate if you're turning to me." Meanwhile, Solia continues her descent into the center of the planet, musing to Handroid that she hasn't felt hungry since Springer gave her Energon. Solia and Handroid note that the Energon is sustaining her, so she hasn't needed to eat. Since Agorrians and Zertonians are half Cybertronian, the Energon given to them allows them to function without needing to eat. When they reach what appears to be the end of the path, Solia grabs a pole and jumps into the depths of the planet, using the pole to slow her descent along the walls until she reaches the bottom and lands safely. In Agoria, Agoria, Darak is approached by Director Elander, who informs him that his father, Minister Dulin, wants to see him. At the capital, Darak looks his father in the face, and Director Dulin says, "Son." Then Dulin shouts, "Enough of this. Where are you hiding your Zertonian ally?" Darak is shocked that he knew. Dulin demands that Darak turn in Solia and expresses disappointment in his son's choices. Dulin wanted a successor, not another pilot. When Darak passionately argues that they need to end the war with the Zertonians and unite as one race, Dulin warns that the current status quo benefits their planet and that unity would lead to their downfall. Darak responds, "So you're going to kill me even though you've clearly been conspiring with our so-called enemy?" Minister Dulin retort, "Show me respect. My station commands it." Darak replies, "Oh, this again. Your lowly pilot's son, your biggest embarrassment." His father responds, "I never wanted you to be a pilot no matter your skill level. I don't need another pilot. I need a successor. You turned your back on your destiny for a lesser path. I need someone to help carry the burden. Unity must be prevented at all costs." Darak says, "So you wanted a successor who would pretend Zertonians are evil creatures bent on destruction, to crave power. I rejected that path for what is good and decent. They're just like us, with the same hopes, dreams, and struggles. We should end this conflict and come together. Unity is our future." Darak's father says, "No, son, you've been misled. Unity is the path to destruction. It will tear our civilization apart, shattering the sacred ring until nothing remains. Unity is our very end." Back in Zertonia, at the Temple of Zerta's Light, Premier Zalilak says, "I have failed, and now our world is on the brink of ruin." Mistress Vill replies, "You fear unity, Premier Zalilak, as you were taught to after being shown the sacred text. Those words were written with fear by flawed men who did not understand the forces at work in our world. Flawed men with flawed ideas passing down flawed belief generation after generation." Premier Zalilak rises and says, "Kneel before you seeking guidance. All you offer is blasphemy." Mistress Vill slaps him, saying, "And you will kneel again and be taught anew, shown the ways of the light of Zerta. You have your sacred texts, but we are the keepers of the light, and the light cannot be corrupted. You will learn our ways and understand that while unity may indeed bring an end, what follows is a new beginning." Next, presented by Skybound Entertainment, distributed by Image Comics, Void Rivals, Volume 1, Issue 14, The Energon Universe.